In this video, I'll show you the new feature within Power Platform Admin Center named as Natural Language Grid and View Search. Now, what do you mean by natural language grid and view search? So, it applies to model driven apps. So, I'll give you an example of model driven app. So, this is a simple model driven app which I've created, which lists down all the planets within our solar system. Now, as you see over here, there are a couple of things to observe. So this is a view selector. These are the place where the record gets displayed. This is a quick find, and this lists down the rows, how many records are returned. So what you do basically is if you want to search something, now say this is a simple list, right? So take for example, if I have a huge list, so I have this contacts. So in this contacts I have a whole bunch of people, like 300 records. Now if I want to search someone, I will just type in JO and then just press enter. The moment I do that, as you see over here, I have rows 9 and it has found the user. Okay. And search result here, if I want to search for an active contacts or filter out the view, I can just go ahead and select proper view. So if I select active contacts, or if I'm happy with all contacts, I can select it from a view selector. So this is a normal behavior for your grid. Now let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and go into the Power Platform Admin Center and turn on that feature. So I'll go to Manage, Environments, Keresh Dev, Settings, Feature, Product, under Product Features. And if I just scroll a bit, I should be able to see something called as Natural Language Grid and View Search. This is in preview stage. So what it does is like it will find your data in model driven app views with the help of Copilot. So it will utilize Copilot to perform the search. So it won't use the inbuilt find or inbuilt search, which is available in the Power Platform or the Dataverse search, but it will make use of Copilot to perform those search. Now, currently, this feature is turned off. So enable this feature for no one. But I'll select this and I'll say I want this feature to be enabled for all the users immediately, or user as the feature becomes available. But in my case, it is not available. So I'll just make it available for all the users immediately. So I'll click on save. And now the smart uh, search will be enabled. Okay. So if I go into this contacts, and let me refresh this now. Now, as you see over here, the interface has completely changed. Now, what has happened is like, as you see over here, the view which I showed you, these are the list of view, right? So you can search the view from here. Now, this has gone into the top bar, right? So this top bar and the grid has been separated. Also, you can see the list of record. Plus, you get this bar named as try to search in your own words, and the find search bar is disappeared now. Okay, so this is your find basically. And as you see over here, there is a Copilot icon, so it will allow you to search. Now, here you can actually type in sentences if you want to search for some record, right? So I'll say I want to search, so it will give you a suggestion as well. So as you see over here, it says contacts where full name is Z or Kelly or someone. Okay, so I can just say contacts where name is name starts with, let's say it picks name starts with J. Okay, now the result may not be accurate, but I've seen that it does a pretty good job. So as you see over here, it has given me a filter. Full name begins with J, and I'll say with, say, city as, or with starts with J, or city equals to, say, San Francisco. Let's say if we get this contact details. I'm not sure I have put in city, but yeah, I don't think so I have put in city, but let's pick up some other query. So contacts where email is 3680 211 or 54684671. So what it is done is, like, like I just ignore the data because I've just used some numbers instead of the actual email address. But it will allow you to put that or query. So as you see over here in the filter, it has put comma, right? Now, if you go into the Microsoft documentation, what it says is, so let me go into the Microsoft documentation. Yeah. So explore data on a grid page. Now, in this documentation, uh, if you see over here, this was the old interface, right, whereby you can do a filtering. You get a On the right hand side, you get a basic grid search, whereby you can actually search on basis of various field. Now again, you need to configure the views for that, and that's why you can search for various columns using like account name or account number or email, main, phone. So this is all configurable in the interface. But from a quick find perspective, you should be able to search for various record. But then in smart grid, you can actually type in within your with natural language. So it is like a natural language search. Using smart grid natural language search, you can ask data related questions, for instance requesting cases with a high priority. Now, when you say cases with high priority, means it's a drop down value with status or the priority as high. Now in my case, there is status as active, so I can say I want to have a record which is active and which starts with J and which belongs to X company. Now if I go to say accounts, so let me go into the accounts, and I can see I have account name, I have city, and I have a country field as well. So I want to see show records with country as China. Yes. So now it has filtered out the table. Now, as you see over here in the column, I do not have a country field, but still it has gone in the backend, and then it has started identifying those record with country as China, and it has listed down uh, the records. Or I can say or India. So as you see over here, the rows are 55. Now, if I expand my search and add those further filtering, I don't think so there is any record from India, maybe Japan or USA. And then it will start showing you some more record. And now as you see over here, it is record is added, like five more record has been added. Now, similarly, you can do further filtering within that record set. Now, this is useful when you have a huge set of record and you want to do a deep search on various fields. And if you're not relying on that uh, filter conditions, or if you're not relying on the quick find, because quick find is restrictive. In quick find, you have an option to decide which column to search for, but then you have to decide that way ahead of time. So once that application is published to the end user, you cannot do much because you have already configured for a set of fields I need to do the search. But the moment Copilot is come into account, then you can write natural language to query on any of the backend Dataverse field. Now, as you see over here, one more thing to note, it says filter accounts by country. So it has automatically, like created a view. Okay. Now, say, think about a scenario whereby you already have a lot of view, but then you're not satisfied with the view and you want to search for something. And then once you have searched for something, you are pretty much happy that, oh, this is the view I want, then you have an option to save as a new view as well. So it has automatically created this view, and then we have an option to save as a new view, and then we can save this as a new view for a user. And then you can just put in some description, and then this view will persist for your specific account. Right now this view is complete. Similarly, I can search by city as well. So accounts where city is, say, Takefu. Okay, and then it will start searching the backend, and then it will give you one record set. And now it has also created a view for you, active accounts and Takefu. This is a co-pilot view, and once that view is saved, this will be your personal view. As you see over here, here you get all this filtering out, right? So it says address one country region is China, address one city begins with Takefu. Now I can go ahead and I can close this, right? And I can say I don't want status as active. So it will start appending all this thing, and then you have an option to further filter that out. So this is like kind of a filtering which has happened, right? And if I close everything, then again you are back to like square one, whereby you can perform your search again on the record set. So this is how you basically use the natural language search within a model driven app. Now it is powerful. You can do a lot of things. You can search on multiple fields, but there are some limitations. So if you read the documentation, it says this is a preview feature. Supported features are filtering of record, which we have seen. It can also sort, it can do a text search. Okay. uh, but the known limitations, this is important to note, the following capabilities aren't supported: query aggregation, query grouping, adding columns. So maybe this might be the future feature which might be coming up. So query aggregation, which is pretty much important. Say if I want to know how many people are there in, say China, for a Beijing region, who has a category of industry in, say, medical domain. So then it will give you that count, but those things you cannot do currently with this particular feature set. Also, consideration: after executing a query, review the generated filter tags, which we have done, and based on that, we have either closed that filter tag or we have kept it as it is. So we need to ensure that the filter condition were correctly interpreted from your natural language query. If any part of a query is missing from the filter tag, the result weren't filtered by that condition. Also, as I mentioned to you, Copilot doesn't produce the desired result. Consider modifying your query or referring to data columns by their name as they appear in grid. Sometimes names are quite common. Name, if I just say name, it will search for full name. But then if you want a name to be searched by last name or a first name, you need to explicitly specify by pointing to the data verse table. Search strings with two words or fewer will do a text search. Previous functionality. To do a copilot search, use more than two words. So you can't just type in two words. You need to type more. You need to put a sentence. And once you do that, it won't do a text search, but then it will do an actual copilot search. And there are other things which to take care of is like row counter displays the number of rows and indicates infinite scrolling on the page. Record counter shows the position of the current page of record, and then it will display number of records in the form of like a paging kind of an interface. And then there is some information about the jump bar. Now these are all, like, this explanation is all about the actual grid. Okay, but we were focusing on natural language search. Now natural language search is like a search on top of the existing grid, and that's why, like, most of the functionality of the grid output will be rendered like a normal search. So if I just search for accounts, for account name is Camido or Babblebab, again the search result will be similar to what we used to get in the quick find. So it will have a grid, it will have a row, and now as it is less than, say, 20 records, it is just showing me the number over here. And if it is more, then it will show you some record set, and then you can do infinite scrolling just to search onto the get into the record which has been retrieved by the search result. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically use the natural language search. And if you want to give it a try, you can navigate to the Power Platform Admin Center, and then in the Power Platform Admin Center, you have an option to turn on natural language grid and view search, which basically allows you to find the data in a model driven app views. Thanks for watching.